Hello, Commanders fans. Today we bring you 5 wide receivers that Commanders should consider. Take advantage and subscribe to the channel. Activate the bell so you don't miss any updates, and leave a like to strengthen our support. Let's join us in this. And now, without further ado, let's get to today's news. 5 wide receivers the Commanders should consider signing after Week 10 mistakes. The Washington Commanders fell apart late in their Week 10 loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers. That was largely due to execution issues on both sides of the football. Washington's defense couldn't get a crucial stop when it needed to, and a lapse in concentration on 4th down cemented the loss. The same was true on offense, with quarterback Jaden Daniels plagued by mistakes from his prominent weapons in the passing game. Luke McCaffrey, Noah Brown, Olamide Zaccheaus, Zach Ertz, and even Terry McLaurin all dropped catchable balls. The Commanders can get away with things like that against lesser opponents. They won't have that luck in the postseason. And make no mistake, that's exactly where the Commanders expect to be after a remarkable start to the campaign, going 7-3 through 10 weeks. General Manager Adam Peters reportedly tried to find help at wide receiver before the trade deadline, to no avail. That leaves the prospect of looking at remaining free agents, or which practice squad players around the league could fit into their plans quickly. The Commanders may be confident in what they have. If not, here are 5 wide receivers they should consider signing for the trade side of the campaign. Wide receivers the Commanders could sign after Week 10 missteps. Commanders could sign Andre Baccellia. Anyone who comes in would need to fit offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury's strategy right away. That could lead the Washington Commanders to someone already familiar with the progressive play caller if those in power decide additional reinforcements are needed. Andre Baccellia spent time with Kingsbury on the Arizona Cardinals in 2022 and even had some involvement in the offensive rotation as a rookie. He's still on the team's practice squad, making him available to any team willing to sign him to their 53-man roster. That might not be something the Commanders legitimately consider when push comes to shove. Washington could also look for a proven commodity rather than familiarity with the scheme. There's simply no way to say for sure if that scenario will play out. Baccellia's sample size at the next level is very small, despite an encouraging college career with the Washington Huskies. But if the player gets a stamp of approval from Kingsbury, it can't be completely ruled out. Commanders could sign Hunter Renfrow. It seems odd to see Hunter Renfrow's name still on the market at this stage of the season. The polished pass catcher was expected to find a new home quickly after his departure from the Las Vegas Raiders. While several interested parties have reached out, nothing has come to fruition. Renfrow has dealt with a few injury issues that have cut short a once promising career. He looked like a potential superstar after catching 103 passes for 1,038 receiving yards and 9 touchdowns in 2021. The decline was steep after that before the Raiders' wideout went his separate ways. The Washington Commanders wouldn't need any miracles from Renfrow in this scenario. They need him to sharpen his short to intermediate passing game and become a skilled route runner who can create separation quickly. His 74.1% catch success rate suggests there's still something there in terms of reliability, despite the obvious red flags. Why Renfrow was passed over by the league at age 28 is anyone's guess. But it wouldn't cost General Manager Adam Peters to find out one way or another. The Commanders could sign Russell Gage. Russell Gage is someone Dan Quinn knows well. The explosive wideout played some of the best football of his career under the head coach during their time together with the Atlanta Falcons. It didn't come with an elusive Super Bowl, but they came pretty close, all things considered. Gage left the Falcons in 2022, but failed to firmly establish himself as a focal point with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's been relegated to the sidelines since then, currently finding himself rooted to the San Francisco 49ers practice squad after a brief stint with the Baltimore Ravens. Given how well Quinn and Gage got along in Atlanta, this is an intriguing possibility if the Commanders decide they need more help at the wide receiver position. The former 6th-round pick has plenty of big game experience and knows how to make things happen with the ball in his hands for good measure. It's a long shot. Everyone is on this list. But in terms of familiarity and proven production, Gage fits the bill despite spending 2023 on injured reserve. Commanders could sign Donovan Peoples-Jones. Donovan Peoples-Jones seemed destined for greatness during the 2022 season. The physically imposing wide receiver was a matchup nightmare for opposing defensive backs, putting his vast wingspan and body control to good use en route to a career year. That was something the Detroit Lions recognized, who traded the pass catcher in 2023. Things didn't go as well in a different environment, though Peoples-Jones returned to the practice squad to avoid being outright ruled out this season. The Lions are on a hot streak as expected and look like the team to beat in the NFC. Acquiring Peoples-Jones would give the Washington Commanders another dynamic weapon who could also provide some useful inside knowledge about a team they may meet in the postseason at some point. Peoples-Jones has a career yards per catch average of 15.5. He's a field stretcher who ran a 4.48-second 40-yard dash at the NFL Scouting Combine. Giving him a chance over some of Washington's underperforming wideouts wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. Commanders could sign Julio Jones. Wonder what Julio Jones has been up to lately? The All-Pro wide receiver and future Pro Football Hall of Famer didn't find a new club this season after spending 2023 on the fringes of the Philadelphia Eagles. Jones is far from the dominant force he once was, as time is catching up with the former first-round pick out of Alabama, but he knows Dan Quinn well from their time together in Atlanta. Jones is nearly 36, so that might not be an option given the way general manager Adam Peters has shaped the roster thus far. But using him in specialized packages and red zone situations would draw attention away from others. That might sound odd given his age and lack of production over the past 2 years. However, Jones' reputation precedes him and would be respected by opposing defensive coordinators. One has to wonder what kind of football shape Jones would be in and how much motivation the wideout has to get involved again, even if the Commanders made an offer. It's fun to think about, but it's not something that could happen, despite her connection to Quinn.